Okay, people. So, right, a little while back, I remember hearing Nicolas Page. Nicolas Page? Nicolas Cage. Woo! Nicolas Cage was going to be doing a Western. And I was like, you know what? I need to give that a look, right? And that's what I've just done. It is called The Old Way, directed by Brett Donowho and written by Carl W. Lucas. The film is produced by Donahue, Micah Haley, Robert Pascal Jr., R. Brian Wright, and Sasha Yellon. It is executive produced by Ness Saban, Jonathan Saba, Fred Ross, David Pommier, Murad Moyedi, Christian Mercury, Carl W. Lucas, David Herring, Colin Flume, Joshua Bunting, Bill Bromley, and Shannon Becker. Music is handled by Andrew Morgan Smith. Cheyenne Michael handles cinematography. Frederick Wardle edits. Farrah West is on casting. Production design is from Tesla Hastings. Set decoration, we have Laura Louvu. Vicky Hales was on costume design. Hair, makeup, we've got Pamela Warden. We have Melissa Oteri, Lauren Litwin, Kiara Rose Griffin, and Macy Barry. Okay, so our cast. Well, we've got Colton Briggs, played by Nicolas Cage. His wife, Ruth, is played by Kerry Knuppe. He's got a daughter, right? His daughter is Brooke, and she is played by Kiera Armstrong. We then have James McAllister. So the older James is played by Noah Lee Gros, and a younger James is played by Everett Blanc. Little Jimmy's dad and his brother, we've got Walter McAllister, played by Kirby Griensbeck, and Robert McAllister, played by Boyd Kestner. There is Greg, played by Adam Lazaron White, Mark, played by Bo Linnell, Smiley, Jeff Meddy, Bubby, played by Joe Pepper, Arnie, played by Craig Branham. Mr. Jeffries is played by Skylar Stone. Boots, very Shiloh Fernandez. Corporal Lawrence, played by Brett Donowho. We got Clark, played by Dean Armstrong. Marshall Jarrett, played by Nick Searcy. Big Mike, Abraham Benrubi. Maria, played by Caitlin Buer. Eustace, played by Clint Howard. And the store owner is played by Philip Aguiar. So the gist of the flick is this, right? Colton Briggs, a cold-blooded gunslinger turned respectable family man. When an outlaw and his gang put Colton and his family in peril, Colton is forced to take up arms with an unlikely partner, his 12-year-old daughter. So, yeah, There you go. There you go. Now, supposedly, like it said, this is Cage's first Western, but I would say Prisoner of the Ghostland was pretty much a Western. You know what I mean? This one, I mean, it feels right, feels and looks like a Western. We've got those Western beats and everything like that. It's we start off right with a guy all gonna get hung, and you see Cage on stage. Obviously you're seeing that he must have brought this guy in, right? And all craziness breaks out. We then jump 20 years in the future. Now, I would say we could have done a better job of trying to age Cage's character, right? If you're jumping 20 years, right? The only thing that was different was he didn't have a mustache. that that was the aging process, man. We're gonna make him shave his mustache. Now he looks older. He doesn't really. Listen, this it's okay, right? I'd say it's fine. It's not spectacular, but it's not completely rubbish. It's just, right? I mean, when we've been blessed with things like The Harder They Fall, phew, I mean, that still one of the best motherfucking westerns, right? I mean, there's Unforgiven, obviously. You know what I mean? When we're talking modern great westerns, there will be blood, right? There's stuff like Serafina Falls. I mean, there's been some really good ones. I mean, when you look at the old spaghetti westerns, I mean, they're fun. They're not exactly great, right? When you look at them now, they're not great. There's some hokey acting, but they are what they are, right? So when we consider all that is out there, the old way, it's not the worst, but it's not lighting anything on fire. Right now, you know exactly what is happening with this story. Right? It's pretty obvious where it's gonna go. Right? Which, sometimes, right? You know where something's going, but it's the journey you're taking on that is the compelling thing. Not so much here. Like, I will say, right? Acting, young Ryan, she does a pretty good job. She's pretty solid in this. And Everett Blanc, who played the young James, also not too bad. Now, Cage, hey, he does his thing, right? There is a moment when Cage sees the remnants of this thing, this grievous, horrendous thing that has been done. And he does give us a little bit of the Wicker Man, right? The beast, right? It's just he's right. Does give us a little. He doesn't go full Cage. But other than that, it is pretty standard. You know what I mean? Just Cage kind of just giving us those beats. He's deaf. He's not deaf. He's no, he's kind of autistic, you would say. And so is his daughter. right? Which I guess, you know what I mean? There's probably, it's like when you would be like, oh, the dude was so cold, right? Showed no fear, brother. It was probably mad autistic people, but no one just really knew all of that shit back in the day. You know what I mean? Which again, in this, because no one's saying these characters are autistic, but I mean, you see the way they're behaving, right? Definitely on the spectrum, people. So yeah, they're like some of the acting. Now, I will say the older Jimmy, right? We do get a bit, it's not nuanced, right? Our bad guys in this, well, I mean, no one's innocent, right? So the bad, good, you know what I mean? Our antagonists in the latter part of the film, we don't really get nuanced performances, right? It's like, be like, okay, play bad, right? It's like you say that to a little kid and like, okay, hey, you better do this, right? It's a bit like that. It's a bit like that. So, yeah, you know, if you want something to pass the time, right? You want something to pass the time, then the old way can be that. You don't really have to do a lot of thinking, you know? Don't have to do a lot of thinking here. It's one of them films, right? Which served their purpose, you know? Serve their purpose. Sometimes you don't want to think, people. You just want to chill. Just want to chill and have your eyes entertained. Then, if that's what you're looking for, the old way could be that film for you. You know? So, yes, do not expect a Western of the caliber of Harder They Fall. But that is a high bar. It's a high motherfucking bar. You feel me? But if you like, now, here's the thing. If you like some of those crazy motherfucking Cage films, well, I wouldn't say crazy because, as I said, look, we've seen some crazy Cage films. You know what I mean? This is not Drive Angry. This is not Mandy. You know what I mean? It's not The Color of Space. I kind of would put this in. Where would you put this one? Maybe kind of, yeah, I would say like a Ghost Rider, right? Put it in a Ghost Rider kind of thing. There's people that enjoyed Ghost Rider, and there's people like me that were just like, oh no. Yeah, like Ghost Rider knowing, you know what I mean? Those ones, right? If you enjoy those films, then I think you might enjoy the old way. Okay? All right, people. Hope that is helpful. Until next time, enjoy.